Boy, you are not a bad boy. Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. We're taking a look at SHINee's Ring Ding Dong Ding Ding Dong. This is a live performance of them from Music Core in 2009 when it came out. And boy oh boy am I excited for this. Choreographers Nick Bass and Misha Gabriel. Misha also did Amigo, and I kind of gave a lot of my thoughts regarding the choreo there. But fun fact with Nick Bass, if I think it's the right Nick Bass that I'm thinking in my head, his choreo and my choreo overlap in the Nashville circuit in conventions. So what's really funny is there's a good chance that I'll be seeing Nick next weekend as a teacher because one of the studios he's with normally goes to the convention that one of my students is going to, and basically we compete against each other choreographically. So that's kind of fun. And yeah, I think I met him last year. It was at Monsters, not Monsters of Hip Hop. They don't go by that anymore, nor should they. But side note, completely separate topic. But yeah. So I've met Nick in person as from educator to educator, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for this because we all know this is one of the most mispronounced songs with the cola part. And I even know SHINee did the thing, they even brought Coca-Cola on stage and they made it a whole thing. So I do know the choreography more in this one than I do in a lot of their other stuff for that reason. So I think without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this beauty of a routine. Their hair kills me. Oh my god. Come on, Key. Nom, kanom. Boy, you are not a bad boy. He's very stable. I'm just waiting for the part. Come on. Ah! Ready? Break out. It's that rogue fringe piece right there. Complicate, girl. Gosh. So crazy. So crazy. My name is Mean Ho. Waiting. Yes. Yes to that. Yes to that. Man, I mean, very similar notes I feel I will be giving to this one like I gave to Amigo, so I will try not to make it come across like I'm beating a dead horse. But it is a new day for me as I'm looking at this, so it could be a little different. Yes, they have the dancers. I wasn't really paying a ton of attention to them as much as I was to Cola, you know. But that's fine. Nice, they're taking their energy, projecting it more towards the inside. I like that little moment, you know, that Jonghyun, he like pushed his hand and then noticed that everybody moved their bodies to help complement that. That vibrato kills me. So stable. And I love right there, boom, twinkling it in, allowing everybody to come back in. Just the members though. Everybody else was still frozen. Yeah, my lady. Yeah. This choreo is freaking iconic. Now, would I want to see that in 2024? Preferentially, I do feel like maybe it doesn't quite connect to the music for my personal preference, but it's because we're diving very much into the choreography, and it was just the blades, the cleanliness of the hands, the ball changes, a lot of that. I know Nick Bass has that type of background, so that I know for sure. Misha, his name is familiar to me, not just because of seeing his name was SHINee. I have heard his name before. I just cannot place where at this moment. I may dig. We'll see. But it is nice to see the energy of that dive, boom, 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 and then they kind of switched it around. Yeah, for me, this kind of gives, you know, that city boy rock kind of vibes, but of course, very different era. So for that, it does feel more, definitely more isolated. And then, of course, we have with the hips, diving it through. Butterfly. And a little flick right there, really great. And of course we got to, you know, performing live. We got to make sure that our earpieces are in and in check. Now, Olnu. He tries. I really feel like he tries. He doesn't have the face for it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, sometimes people can come across as like a bad A. I know for me, because ever since I got my undercut, I know I can come across that way, especially to somebody who doesn't know me. It may come across with that type of energy, especially with what I wear too. And then a lot of times, I think it just kind of depends on, what you wear, and also it depends on like what's your RBF like. You know what I mean? I don't feel like he has that much of an RBF as much as other members of the group do. You know, I would say even Taemin doesn't come across doesn't give off a bad boy vibe either. But also, let's be honest, what they're wearing and their hair does not give them bad boy status in my book. Maybe in 2009, but unfortunately 2024, bad boys don't wear leather. Well, they do wear leather pants, but they don't wear this type of like infrared pant. But that's fine. Notice though, they are a bit more reserved in their movement. Obviously, they are singing live here. And they're doing a pretty good job, kind of try to keep in tune with like staying together. Now the dancers, it could be one of two reasons. The dancers are kind of doing it very similarly to SHINee. For me, that would be my general note of I always feel like for a dancer, their job is to dance, and so there is a way, of course, you have to pace yourself, but I don't know how many, if this was just the one time they're performing or what. But it's not a concert, you know, so I really feel like for them, the dancers, I really wish that they were able to go a little bit more full. But also part of me may be like, well, the reason why they may not have is to make them look cohesive with SHINee, because SHINee is not also going super full out because they're singing. So that would make it look more cohesive across the board and more intentional with the choreo. And I also know the type of choreo too of what we saw from Amigo is very similar in nature to what we're seeing here. For me, definitely too much on the unison for my personal taste, but definitely builds up. It builds to a good place, kicking through. I really like the choice da 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 da, and then of course changing the position. And now they have their hands more free, so they can actually do more with their hands. That was nice. Great traveling of usage of space for them, but also we're not really using levels to help. Now this section, man. This section. Notice that they don't have the lyrics here. Kola, 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 rock, kola, kola, kola. That part, now, hold on, let me go dig. All right, when digging, found two things. So the lyrics are, go rocka, R-O-C-K-A, rocka, rocka, rocka. That is not what we hear. We hear, kola, 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 kola. But no one is bothered by that. And I know that SHINee has accepted that as so, and those are the new lyrics of the song that everybody feels forever. Second thing, looked at Misha. The reason why his name is familiar, he's definitely on the Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson, Christina Aguilera, that realm of choreography. He's done a lot of stuff, the Step Up eras, like Step Up All In, that kind of stuff. He's on faculty. I don't know if he still is, Broadway Dance Center in New York. So, okay, so he's definitely in that like same vein as Nick Bass, Marty Kadula, that kind of realm of the Justin Timberlake vibes. Of course, Chris Brown, Neo, the whole shebang. Basically, that entire choreography style that I was talking about, he's like right in the middle of it, and one of the people of the path, essentially. So it makes sense why his choreography is reflective in that, and Nick Bass is just is another example of that too. Which, it was thriving in the era, so it makes sense why they got who they got for it. Elastic, elastic, elastic. And for me, it did feel like this whole little section felt like we were trying to do a little bit of a locking. But it says rocka, so I thought they were saying lock, like L-O-C-K-A. But no, it wasn't. It was just movement, pretty much. Which, nothing crazy. Definitely more that stoic side of switching the feet. This part is a little... Yeah. Yeah, so there's your first level. It's really what it feels like. We didn't quite have the levels as represented. At least maybe just seeing in the music shows, we don't see the levels as much. We see everyone pretty isolated in their own lane, if that makes sense. Like the dancers are just in the back filling up space. And they're not integrated or like being a part of the set. It's really what it feels like. It feels like they're just duplicates of SHINee. Which is probably, at the time, probably what they're going for. Also here, they're not really using their back at all for that. Makes sense because they are really being mindful of what's going on in their lung capacity. Yeah, dun, 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 dun. Really nice little pacing there. Little eyes popping, boom, boom, really nice seeing that there. Here's your basic pop. Now, here's our good old circle. Love that. That's a moment. Yep, and then creating everybody's going around different directions. So that's a really nice choice because it allows for, it's just going to be different and not everybody doing the exact same thing because we've seen that a lot already. So having everybody kind of make different choices going back around makes it feel more individualized, more enjoyable, more depth behind it. Sliding it down really nice. Yeah, that switch, twist, boom with the push. Oh, man. Yep, dancers going through, doing different choreo. It looks like the original choreo, and then SHINee taking a more, just a different approach. Nothing so up crazy. Turning it through. Very impressive for them to do a turn with that kind of stability and then hold their notes the way that they are. That's impressive. Nice little skipperoo to the front that I find fun. Now, right here, the iconic choreo. Part of me's like, I want to learn. I want to make that an official. I want to need to officially learn it. I don't know though. I'll let a poll decide, but I wouldn't hate it if the poll said, "Hey Jess, you need to learn this," and I'll be like, "Okay, fine." But this last little bit here, if you notice the energy, that little boom, boom, ding, 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 definitely something that I think is a strong suit of theirs is they have the discipline to be able to do a lot of the intricacies of movement and make it very clear and intentional with what you want. And that's something I really like, especially for these little moments at the tail end in comparison to that ring ding dong moment. I like that. So that ending sequence was pretty good, and it matched the track pretty well near that tail end. Is this my favorite choreography in the world? No. Is it iconic for the way that it needed to be iconic? Absolutely. And this was just such a joy to actually finally get to watch and enjoy. This was great. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. I'm definitely enjoying my time with SHINee. It really is taking me to a super nostalgic place on so many different fronts. For me on this side, this one is more of a, what this song is known for is that cola cola part. And it was so nice to be able to actually look at it from an analytical lens here. I know this one feels a bit short, shorter than a lot of the other ones, and I think a lot of it stems from some of the things I've already touched on. I was just kind of able to paraphrase here because I really covered a lot of it with Amigo, but also because there's not a ton of levels or other facets outside of just content, it was harder for me to kind of touch on multiple facets of it, and I even said that in my previous one with Amigo, so I apologize for that. But also I know this one is just such a vibe, and it's really enjoyable to look at and enjoy and glean, and I am definitely looking forward to seeing more of SHINee in this era, because this is just one of the many heavy hitters that are on my list in the very near future to take a look at. So this was really fun though. Thank you once again for watching. I will, of course, catch you guys on the flip side. Bye!